Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Loco Projects. I'm Jorge Loco, and this is another video on my home renovation. If you go back to video number 4, where I just closed in the house and did a quick video tour, I made a quick mention that the garage side door does not close. Well, I fought with the door for a little while, and my dad come over, and we both tried to see what the problem was, make some adjustments on the door, and we could not get that door to close. So what we ended up doing one Saturday morning, he came over and took my Sawzall, and we cut the entire door off the garage. So we took the 2x4s that I have. I'm short a couple of 2x4s I need to install. But I took the 2x4s that I had, and we rebuilt the door frame and reinstalled the door, and I'll show you what we discovered here. It's not a perfect solution at the moment, but it's what we were able to do. My dad came over and helped me. We figured out the problem. Let me show you inside. Trust me when I tell you, this door is nearly perfectly plumb and level. It might be out a little bit, maybe an eighth of an inch or so. We had that bubble as close to perfect as we could get it. And you see how the stud we put in, I took the frame out, we cut that out with a Sawzall, reframed the new door jam. I think I'll put another cripple in here, but I didn't have the 2x4s with me. So look at the gap on top here. Look at how big this gap is here. Now watch when we go down to the floor. That tightens up. So we're well over an inch and a half, almost 2 inches out of square on the framing. This is the garage wall. All of these studs, we checked all of the studs. They are all leaning. Remember that tree in front? Let me show you. This is the front of the house that had the big oak tree here. That's got to be close to 3 feet diameter. So that tree was growing at an angle, leaning on the house, and it had been doing that for so long, it's pushed the entire framing of the house, or the garage. The entire structure has been moved out of square. Well, as square as it was. That door had to be square at one time. So since I've been here, only one neighbor has come by to talk to me. He walks by every once in a while, and he stops by, an older guy that's lived in town for 20, 30 years. He had this photo on his phone, and this is the day they came to cut that tree down, so you can see in the corner. Those are the tree guys, and they actually showed up across the street one day, and I had them come over and asked them to give me a quote, and they said, "You want to take the other tree down out front?" I'm like, "No, not the other. Take the other tree down. I want to talk about doing the stump grind." And like, "Oh yeah, this was a memorable job." So I actually talked to the guys who took that tree down, so that was kind of cool. But you'll see that this tree is growing sideways at an angle, and it's crushing the front of the garage there. The neighbor said that nothing hit the garage when they took it down, which I was told by the realtor. The selling realtor had told us that when we looked at the house, that they bumped the garage when they took the tree down. That's not the case. The tree was actually growing sideways, which is crazy. You can see in this photo on the right side, the driveway is cracked. On the left side where that guy is standing, it's cracked and it's lifting. I think the only thing keeping this tree from falling was the fact that the concrete was holding the root system down. It's just crazy. So that tree has pushed the entire garage back, and that's why we were having so much problems with that garage door, and we weren't thinking about it until we were like why is everything so out of square? We couldn't figure out why. Well, it had to work at one time, and um, we kind of guessed this was the problem. And then the neighbor came over and showed me that photo. I'm like, holy cow, this is just crazy.
This is what we're left with. We have a square door frame. That door opens perfectly now. But you see we have a gap between the siding and the J-channel and the brick mold. That is because the top has all been pushed towards the back. Everything is pushed that way because of all the weight on the front from that tree. So this works for now. I can finish moving in. I can put stuff in here and lock this door now as soon as I get a working key for it, or switch it. I'll switch it with the one I bought, and we're good to go on that. Alright, I'm working on the garage door lock, and I jinxed myself. If you remember when I did the front door, I told you that sometimes you have to remove the handle, take the handle off, take the decorative plate off to access the screws. And the new set I bought is exactly that style. There's no access to any screws from the outside. What we have to do underneath is this little set screw. Pull that off. The lever will release. And I gotta pop this cap off, and there's a tag there. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. So it's a good thing now it's covered. You know I wasn't making things up.
So to install this type of lock, we take this long Allen wrench and loosen that set screw so the lever will slide off, and that leaves you with the mechanism there with the plate on top of the thumb lock. So pull the paper that's sticking out there and that plate pops off, which you can see, and then that's how you install the lock. So you install it without the plate on it, so you can screws. That plate covers up all the screw heads, so you never see them. Once you get it installed, you take your Allen wrench and put the lever back on it. It's pretty simple. Now I have a garage door that closes and a lock with a key that I actually have. So now I can fill up my garage with all my stuff and try to get out of that storage unit.